British Columbia's Premier Christy Clark sent a blunt message to the federal government in an interview with CBC News today. She warned that if an oil spill happened off the West Coast today, the resources do not exist to clean it up. Her words could provide a boost to environmentalists in both Canada and the United States. Margot McDermott has more.
Oil tankers make some people jumpy in BC, and many are nervous about the Northern Gateway pipeline, a plan to bring Alberta crude down to the BC coast and onto Asia by tanker.
The problem with heavy oil is it's such a heavy substance, it sinks.
Now, a blunt warning about safety from BC's Premier Christy Clark. In an interview with Peter Mansbridge, she says the federal government, which is responsible for offshore spills, wouldn't be able to handle a big accident.
We are not ready on the marine side. The federal government needs to really improve the resources for the Coast Guard on our coast if we're going to protect it from any spills. And the problem for us is not just future. It's today. It's right now. There's heavy oil moving in and out of Burrard Inlet in Vancouver.
Clark's government says it won't support the Northern Gateway project unless 5 conditions are met, including a state-of-the-art system to handle big oil spills. This week's BC Coastal First Nations launched the first in a series of anti-tanker ads. They say Clark is just reading the public mood.
The reality is, if you have a spill, there is no technology that can clean that up. And that's what our Premier is saying now. And I think that's a really, really good statement. I think she's very astute to come out with that.
And Clark's comments will certainly bolster U.S. environmentalists who just unveiled their own anti-tanker campaign. The federal natural resources minister says there is a system now to handle a fairly large spill off BC's coast. And Joe Oliver has also set up an expert panel on tanker safety to look at other measures.
We're going to improve it to the extent necessary because, as I say, we're utterly committed to world-class safety, and whatever needs to be done to get us there, we will do.
Clark is heading to Washington tomorrow to promote BC's liquid natural gas industry. She'll be talking to the same U.S. policymakers the federal government lobbies when Ottawa tries to reassure Americans that Canada's oil and gas projects are safe for the environment. Margot McDermott, CBC News, Ottawa.
And you can see the full interview with Christy Clark this weekend on One on One.